Did you know that entire continents were shaped by mass movements of people seeking better lives and opportunities? Today, we'll explore humanity's most monumental migrations, from ancient trek lovers to modern-day travelers who reshaped borders and identities. Let's see how these incredible journeys changed our world forever. Number 10. The Bantu Expansion. We begin with a movement across sub-Saharan Africa that spanned millennia. The Bantu people, armed with agricultural knowledge and ironworking skills, moved from their cradle in west-central Africa to the south and east. They carried with them new techniques of farming, language, and culture, forging a mighty linguistic family across nations. Their gradual spread was so influential that many modern African languages share Bantu roots. It was less like a sudden relocation and more like a rolling tide of human ingenuity, creating diverse societies that flourished along rivers, savannas, and even dense forests. This slow wave of expansion laid the foundation for community networks that remain powerful today, demonstrating the extraordinary resilience and adaptability of humankind. Number 9. The Polynesian Voyages. Imagine setting sail in a wooden canoe across the world's largest ocean, guided only by the stars, ocean currents, and honed instincts. Polynesian navigators traveled thousands of miles across the Pacific, discovering and populating some of the most remote islands on the planet, places like Hawaii, Easter Island, and New Zealand. These voyages were a testament to human bravery, skill, and thirst for discovery. Early Polynesian explorers carried crops, domesticated animals, and cultural traditions that transformed each island into a distinct yet related society. This network eventually became one of the most impressive maritime expansions in history. Their navigational feats still inspire us, a timeless reminder that with courage and knowledge, even seemingly impossible horizons can be reached. Number 8. The Great Atlantic Migration. From the late 19th century to the early 20th century, vast numbers of Europeans crossed the Atlantic Ocean to seek better prospects in the Americas. Many set sail under desperate circumstances, escaping poverty and political unrest. Others were motivated by stories of newfound freedom and economic opportunity. The result was a transformative wave of humanity entering places like the United States, Argentina, and Brazil. In North America, entire cities changed overnight as factories and railroad projects absorbed the manpower. Cultural mosaics formed, bridging old world traditions with new world hope. The Great Atlantic Migration is a key chapter in modern history, highlighting the pursuit of prosperity and the forging of identities across international waters. Number 7. The Partition of British India. In 1947, British colonial rule in the Indian subcontinent ended, and the region was split into India and Pakistan. This division sparked one of the largest and fastest mass movements in history, reshaping families, traditions, and even languages practically overnight. Millions relocated across the new borders, seeking a place where they felt they belonged culturally and religiously. This massive transition left lasting imprints on the region's politics, economy, and social structures. To this day, the history of partition remains a deeply emotional subject, reflecting both the resilience and tragedy of entire communities compelled to relocate in a matter of weeks. Number 6. The African Diaspora. Although it spanned centuries under many complicated historical circumstances, the African diaspora is one of humanity's largest forced relocations and cross-continental movements. Millions of people ended up far from their ancestral lands, especially in the Americas and the Caribbean. Despite the hardships they faced, African communities preserved many aspects of their cultural heritage, influencing language, music, and cuisine in their new homelands. Over time, these cultures flourished and evolved, contributing to rich and diverse social tapestries wherever they landed. Today, the diaspora stands as a testament to the human spirit's ability to maintain identity and create vibrant cultures despite unimaginable challenges. Hey, if you're enjoying these fascinating stories of human journeys, Be sure to give this video a quick like to show your support. It means a lot and helps us bring more intriguing content your way. Number 5. The Great Migration in the United States. Between 1916 and 1970, millions of African Americans migrated from the rural South to the urban North, Midwest, and West. Fueled by the promise of industrial jobs and the hope of escaping oppressive conditions, they reshaped major cities like Chicago, New York, and Detroit. Beyond the economic shift, this migration led to cultural renaissances, the Harlem Renaissance, for example, giving birth to iconic music, literature, and art. While it was often a challenging transition, it also sparked social transformation and a redefinition of American identity. This period stands as a powerful example of how a single movement of people can remake demographics, politics, and culture on an enormous scale. Number 4. The Soviet internal migrations. Spanning most intensively from the 1920s to the 1960s, the Soviet Union initiated large-scale population movements within its vast territories. Some of these relocations were spurred by the search for natural resources, such as the development of Siberian industries and agriculture. Others were driven by state-imposed directives. Entire communities were uprooted and sent thousands of miles away, altering the cultural and ethnic composition of distant republics. Cities emerged nearly overnight in harsh climates, testament to the human ability to adapt. While often carried out under challenging political pressures, these internal migrations left a deep imprint on the Soviet landscape and the lives of millions. Number 3. Post-World War II refugee movements. The end of World War II saw millions of displaced people across Europe and Asia. As borders were redrawn and regimes changed, individuals found themselves in a quest to rebuild shattered lives. Many had been uprooted by conflict or forcibly removed, and now they scrambled to find renewed stability. Massive resettlement efforts took shape under international organizations. Despite enormous obstacles, entire nations recovered, and many refugees helped rebuild infrastructure, economies, and local societies. This era underscores how resilient people can be, showing that determination and international collaboration can restore hope even in the midst of devastation. Number 2. The rural-to-urban shift in modern times. One of the largest ongoing migrations often goes unnoticed because it's still happening, the movement from rural areas to cities worldwide. Driven by industrialization, economic opportunities, and the allure of modern amenities, people from every continent have left farming communities for bustling urban centers. Megacities like Tokyo, São Paulo, and Mumbai ballooned almost overnight. This phenomenon transformed not just city skylines, but also families, education systems, and job markets. While it can strain resources and create new social challenges, it has also spurred innovation in housing, transportation, and sustainability. In many ways, the story of humanity in the 21st century is the story of urban migration. Number 1. The Neolithic Revolution migrations. Long before written history, small bands of hunter-gatherers adopted agriculture, forming permanent settlements. These early agrarian communities sparked a radical shift as farming and livestock herding replaced nomadic foraging. Populations exploded, spreading outward in search of fertile lands. Over generations, this shift laid the foundation for complex societies, trade networks, and new forms of governance. The Neolithic Revolution is widely regarded as one of the most important turning points in human history, and the subsequent migrations influenced the spread of technology, domesticated crops, and social institutions. The global ripple effects of that revolution still shape our diets, our economies, and our very concept of civilization. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey through time and place. If you learned something new, or just loved revisiting humanity's great migrations, consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and leaving a like. Your support helps us explore more captivating chapters of our shared past, and we can't wait to bring you along for the next adventure.